Here, we hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you're tuning in from. We are here actually to talk about some pretty exciting science. I'm a bit of a science buff myself, but when it comes to health sciences, I find it all particularly fascinating because it's so relevant to each and every one of us. In this particular case, I find it even more compelling because we're really talking about an amplified version of something that humans have known ever since humans have been walking the face of the earth. And that is the fact that the earth itself has healing properties. You probably know it as the earth's electromagnetic field. Grounding is a common term. It's a real buzzword these days. There are grounding everything, grounding mattresses, grounding bed sheets, grounding yoga mats. You can't escape it, probably because it does some good. What we're going to be discussing today is an amplified, specialized version of that. Ultimately, one of the things that science knows keenly is that everything has a frequency, and that includes, of course, us as beings. We have a frequency, in fact, and the amplification of that frequency can do some wonderful things to our body. In fact, you can see many of them listed on the slide in front of you right now, including improving circulation, driving oxygen into the blood, improving your sleep, so a little more rest, detoxifying your body. What a wonderful thing that is. And doing all of these things and much more without additional drugs and chemicals. And what a blessing that is. Also, terahertz is a frequency, now part of this electromagnetic field. It sits somewhere between microwaves and infrared waves, and terahertz have some wonderful and unique benefits in their own right. One of the things I'd like to do before you get started is if you have a scrap of paper and a pen or pencil within arm's length, just go ahead and grab that, especially if you're here for the very first time, if you're here as a guest. And I'm sure our special guest is probably going to share some things you're going to want to scribble down as well. So the first thing I'd like to throw down on the piece of paper is a website. Now, this is a site that's been put together by the National Library of Medicine. It's a government site in the U.S. It's called pubmed.gov, pubmed.gov, G-O-V. Now, the reason I'd like you to do this is so that never during the course of this presentation do you feel that you need to take our word for anything. You can actually cross-reference and check everything that we have to share. And one of the best places to do that is pubmed.gov, but of course you can also double and triple check. Go to your favorite search engine or browser, check some other sites as well. So I'm also going to give you a few keywords to scribble down on your pad, extra things for you to experiment with when you're researching. Now, we're going to play a short video. This is only about 5 minutes long, but this is essentially going to be a PEMF crash course. And this is going to help bring you up to speed on the incredible value and benefit of this technology.
Still tired, even after a full night's sleep, struggling with pain that just won't go away, doing everything right, but still not feeling like yourself. You're not alone. This video will introduce you to PEMF, a science-backed approach to restoring energy, supporting recovery, and helping your body work better. It's safe, non-invasive, and has been used in clinical settings for decades. Thanks to technological advances, today's PEMF devices provide state-of-the-art solutions once limited to large clinical machines. Some models also feature patented technology designed to deliver precise, effective electromagnetic pulses for optimal results. PEMF therapy began in mid-20th century medical research, particularly in Eastern Europe. Doctors and scientists discovered that pulsed magnetic fields could stimulate cellular repair, reduce inflammation, and promote bone growth. In the early 2000s, NASA built on this research to help astronauts recover from muscle atrophy and bone loss in space, where Earth's magnetic field is absent. When astronauts spend time in zero gravity, their bodies suffer. NASA discovered that pulsed electromagnetic fields help reverse this damage, restoring vitality, bone density, and muscle function. If it works for astronauts in space, imagine what it can do here on Earth. Originally, PEMF equipment was room-sized and required specialized clinical settings. Today's devices are smaller, more accessible, and easier to use at home. Every cell in your body holds a charge. When that charge is strong, your body heals, performs, and regulates itself more easily. But when stress, inflammation, or age lowers that charge, recovery slows, pain lingers, energy fades. PEMF helps recharge that energy gently and consistently. 5 grounding analogy. You've probably heard of grounding walking barefoot outdoors to absorb Earth's natural energy. PEMF is like a more targeted, amplified version of that. It delivers those same low frequency signals directly to your body anytime, anywhere. It's like having the Earth's healing energy at your fingertips. PEMF sends a series of low frequency pulses through the body. These waves improve circulation, enhance oxygen flow, support detox, and help reset your body's natural rhythm. On a cellular level, PEMF boosts your cell's ability to produce and use energy known as ATP. Stronger, more energized cells lead to better health and faster recovery. PEMF has been FDA approved since the 1970s for clinical use in areas like bone healing and post-surgical recovery. It's supported by over 10,000 published studies and more than 2,000 clinical trials worldwide. Today, PEMF devices are increasingly used around the world in hospitals, clinics, and homes as a safe, natural form of energy support. While PEMF is FDA cleared for specific uses, these statements aren't evaluated by the FDA to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Olylife's PEMF devices are certified for quality and safety through international testing standards, ensuring each unit meets strict wellness technology benchmarks. Most people haven't heard of PEMF yet, but those who have, many use it daily and won't go without it. Athletes use it to speed up recovery. Biohackers turn to it for enhanced energy, sleep, and long-term performance. And everyday people rely on it when nothing else seems to work. People often turn to PEMF when they're dealing with things like chronic pain, low energy, slow healing, aging skin, or poor sleep that doesn't improve, no matter how healthy their habits. Some practitioners observe that PEMF supports energy flow along meridian points, similar to acupuncture, though research is ongoing. If that sounds familiar, PEMF might be the missing piece your body's been waiting for. Using PEMF is simple. Most sessions last just 10 to 30 minutes a day while you read, relax, or work. No major lifestyle changes. No pressure. Just consistent, natural energy support your body can actually use. Dr. Cindy Hodgson, a physical therapist and exercise physiologist with nearly 30 years of hands-on experience, shares this.
I've worked with the body at a deep level for decades, and what I've noticed with PEMF is something I can feel. When my patients use it before treatment, they relax more and their bodies respond better. Personally, I've seen changes in my own energy and sleep without having any major issues to begin with. Even post-workout soreness clears up faster.
It's not just about treating problems. It's about supporting the body's natural energy in a way that feels tangible, subtle, but real. PEMF has also been explored in depth by researcher and educator Dr. Bryant Myers, author of PEMF, The Fifth Element of Health. In his book, he explains why pulsed electromagnetic fields are just as essential to well-being as air, water, food, and sunlight, helping the body recharge at the cellular level. His work has helped bring more awareness to the everyday benefits of PEMF for energy, sleep, and recovery. If you're looking for a smarter way to support your energy, recovery, and long-term health, PEMF might be the upgrade your body has been waiting for. Experience the benefits once limited to big medical devices now in a compact, consumer-friendly form. Ask the person who shared this video how you can try it for yourself. PEMF Recharge from the inside out.
So that probably helped in a significant way, especially if all of this science, health science, is new to you. The bottom line ultimately is the research is ongoing and some incredible developments have happened so far. Now, there is a company, and the name of that company is on the screen, and they are specializing in decreasing the size of these units significantly, as you can see, and also increasing the potency of them. So we're very, very excited to have many people have been test driving this Terra P90 for some months now, but the science is absolutely incredible when it comes to both PEMF and terahertz in a single device. And this is one of the specific advantages to this particular product over some of the other technologies we talked about earlier in the presentation, because adding the terahertz brings an entirely new dimension to this product. So literally what we have now in our hands is a portable pain relief and recovery device. The other thing, of course, that you learned in that presentation is that there are benefits when it comes to inflammation. One of the great things about reducing inflammation in the body is it is not always, but often accompanied with a reduction of pain as well. And that's a very impactful thing. One of the most common benefits that we hear when people start using the product is rest. That they feel like they're getting a more restful sleep, or they're sleeping deeper, or maybe a lot of people are saying, I'm dreaming more. And perhaps that's because they are finding themselves a little longer in a stage 4 sleep. So they're recalling some of the things that they're dreaming. Of course, the benefit of being in a stage 4 sleep a little longer is that's when your body is healing itself. So any benefit there is certainly welcome. Boosting circulation and also supporting cellular repair. In fact, before I started using a product like this, I was more familiar with the process like you're probably familiar with, called apoptosis, where healthy human cells all communicate with each other, and then they decide to release or drop diseased or damaged cells, and then your immune system can certainly work to flush those cells out of your body. The reason that's important, of course, is diseased or damaged cells that continue to replicate themselves is sort of the precursor to tumor growth. What we're learning now with some very recent studies is that PEMF can actually assist in damaged cellular repair. That was fascinating to me. In fact, all the way down to the DNA level. I found that just absolutely so exciting to learn more about this. So not only can it activate, boost healthy human cells, but it can also assist in repairing damaged cells as well. The P90 Plus, think of this as the big brother or sister to the P90. So all of the benefits that that piece of equipment holds, this holds as well, with some very unique additions. You can see the handheld devices on the left-hand side of that image. Now, one of those devices is a 650 nanometer red light therapy wand. If you're unfamiliar with the benefits of red light therapy, go ahead and grab your scrap of paper and write red light therapy and health when you're doing your searches, and I think you're going to be fascinated with some of the things you find. Some incredible benefits both with skin and scalp health, also stimulating collagen, improving skin elasticity. This device would be like having a detailed spa features in your own home that you can use at your convenience. Reducing inflammation. Also benefits to acne. So if you have a child at that age, you may lose control of this thing. It might end up in their bathroom, but also reducing signs of aging in the skin. Now, in fact, if you look at the right-hand side of that photograph, one of those two tubes contains a water-based collagen product. And by applying that and then using your wand to massage that in your face, some of the benefits that members have been receiving, mind-blowing. Now, also, there is a terahertz one that also is included. So electronic muscle stimulation is on the menu, and so is radio frequency treatment as well. So that wand you can, in fact, use while your feet are on the pads, and you could give yourself a specialized treatment with that wand. Perhaps you've got a sore elbow or a pulled muscle or a wrist that's been bothering you, too much time at the computer. Any area where you might need some specialized terahertz benefit, you can use that wand simultaneously while you're treating yourself with the P90 Plus. Now, we're shifting gears significantly, but this is an incredibly impactful piece of equipment as well. One of the things I love when I walk into the main room of my house where this is plugged in, that fresh smell that ionized air brings. So negative ions, if you're unfamiliar with the term or unfamiliar with the concept, just think the last time that you had a huge thunderstorm pass over your home, and the dark clouds all collecting, and the lightning is getting ready to start to fire, and the thunder is rolling. The rain is about to get ready to drop, and that really fresh smell. That's the earth, your neighborhood, being flooded with negative ions. Well, this machine does something very similar in your home to the tune of about 200 million for every cubed centimeter. Wonderful. Now, there's also some very significant benefits here. It just so happens those particles can assist in neutralizing free radicals. And very, very similar to the same way that you're using antioxidants to help with your free radical load and give your immune system a little bit of a boost, this device can also bring some real benefit as well. Strengthen the autonomic nervous system, adding benefit to the immune system, again, reducing reducing stress and improving sleep. And so this running all day long, first of all, the price of it, anybody can afford to get one of these into their home, and it's just a wonderful looking little device that can just run day and night for the benefit of everyone living inside your house. Again, another very unique piece of equipment. In fact, this is a world's first. This is an ultra-low 7.8 frequency PEMF device designed for your eyes. Obviously, macular degeneration is a real thing. Your eyes take an absolute beating. And as you get older, they take more of a beating. So this particular product can bring some very significant benefits. Now, one of the ways it does that, of course, is with PEMF, so improving circulation. But also, there is an inflammation factor. There's a massage feature to this. There's a heat feature to this as well. And so this is going to bring some wonderful results to a broad range of eye conditions. And in fact, if you consider just for a moment that the front of these are perforated, so you can actually perform a variety of different functions around the house. You could sit and watch television, you could browse on a computer, you could prepare dinner, do whatever you need to do while giving yourself an eye treatment. If you take a look at the last bullet, this is a bit alarming. The fact that we're spending so many hours with our smartphones pressed to our noses. And in fact, it's creating its own problems as well. Take a look at the last sentence. 80% of children in Singapore are showing signs of myopia. Now, 80%, that's 8 in 10. I guarantee you 30 years ago, that was not the statistic. And you can replace Singapore as a country with any other country there, because the reality is young adults and teenagers and children are glued to their phones in every country around the world. A lot of this is just eye strain. You're forcing your eyes to focus at distances they really weren't designed to focus at. And so this is certainly, if it's not an epidemic, and I don't think it is, but I would say it's certainly approaching one. Now, here's another, I'll tell you, this is another huge trend. You could scribble down on your notes, hydrogen water bottles. You do a Google search for hydrogen water bottles, you're going to find them everywhere, manufacturing everywhere. Well, try searching hydrogen water bottle and MRET, or molecular resonance effect technology. Try to find a hydrogen water bottle with MRET as part of its features. Not easy to do. Well, it is now. This particular product is second to none. And in fact, while you're doing a little PubMed research on your own, type in MRET and then NASA. You know, the guys that strap rockets to people and fire them off into space. There is some wonderful research that is being done by NASA. In fact, with some research facilities, one of those is in Russia. And when you start researching MRT and NASA, you're going to see some incredible papers that are being written right now with this science. Now, one of the things that this is able to do is decluster water molecules. It probably would be reasonable to say, although I can't guarantee it, we're probably all walking around at various stages of dehydration. And so the better chance we have of hydrating every cell in our body, I think the better it's going to reflect in our overall health and well-being. So there are anti-aging benefits. There are hydration benefits. There is, even with the positive charge, there's even antioxidant benefits. So this is a wonderful product, again, to help boost your immune system, to help clean up free radicals. It's incredible. In fact, remember we talked about frequency and the healthy frequencies for all of the parts of the body: tissue, nerve regeneration, bone, connective tissues, muscle. And that is known to science. It certainly is known to the architects of these PEMF devices as well. Well, one of the things that PEMF treatment is going to do is, in activating those cells, it's also going to make the cell membrane of each individual cell in your body more permeable. Now, that's significant, because what it means is the micronutrients and all of those things that your cell wants to have can flow more freely through the cell membrane. And it also makes it easier for that cell to get rid of its waste. So if each individual cell in your body can perform their functions better, you as an organism are going to certainly benefit. The very last product we want to talk about is something called the Terahertz Vitality Wand. This is a very, very cool product. It's specialized, and these terahertz waves from 3 to 3,000 micrometers across Asia. It's not as well known in North America, or let's say the Western world, but across Asia, this is often referred to as the light of life, because again, its ability to activate and charge healthy human cells, but also, as we said earlier, and was news to me, repair damaged cells. So this thermal energy transfer can bring all kinds of benefits to the body. Reducing pain, remember that. That comes from reduction of inflammation often, and also relaxing muscles. What's particularly interesting about this product is that how deep it can penetrate. So perhaps you have had a back injury or hip injury, you've had a joint replacement that just hasn't gone as well as you would have hoped. Maybe you have a muscle tear from years ago, or you have a bulging disc from some heavy lifting at work that didn't go right. Well, you can penetrate between 3 and 5 centimeters with this terahertz waves. Now, it also comes in its very sharp-looking case, a oscillating stand. So this way, you're sitting watching TV, you're reading a book, you're doing some other action around the house, and you can give yourself a specialized treatment simultaneously. So what a wonderful product this is. And again, incredibly affordable, and everyone in the house can benefit for this or with this for years to come. So one of the evidences that we have when the product is working effectively comes from people that maybe don't follow instructions as well as they possibly could. That's people that perhaps have a little bit more of a toxic load in their body than others, and they get on a high-powered device such as the ones we've been talking about, and their first response to you is, I feel like crap. They got a runny nose, they feel like they've got a cold coming on. Well, when you start to use products like this that specialize in pulling toxins out of dormant fat cells, which your body often pushes them to essentially as a self-preservation mechanism, you start pulling those toxins back in your active system. If you don't give your body what it needs to flush them, you're going to feel, well, potentially you're going to feel rough. And so one of the things that we would encourage you to do is hydrate properly. Make sure you drink a decent sized glass of water before a treatment, and then follow it up with another glass of water. And just give your body all the resources it needs to allow these tools to do their job. So I suspect by now it probably has become evident to you that Olylife is incredibly focused on taking this very healthy approach to cutting edge science. It's fascinating. It's a wonderful combination of these two areas. Now, let's talk a little bit about their healthy approach to science from a corporate perspective. First of all, 167 world-class patents. In fact, when you go to their corporate offices, you'll be met with this wall of patents. 143 countries around the world have received something from this company. More than $50 million every single month in revenue for a company that's, I think, still less than 2.5 years old, with research facilities in Sweden and in Germany, and Japan playing its part as well with rare metals to fit these machines. Also, testing and more testing and more testing. Every single piece of equipment, in fact, has tested very, very detailed, and certification to verify its effectiveness in what it is it's supposed to be doing for you, for your health and well-being. A lot of the largest European certification agencies, I suspect some in Japan, I'm not 100% certain, not Japan, across Asia, apologies. But the bottom line is every single piece of equipment Olylife makes is tested very, very well. All right, so this brings us to headquarters. Now, we mentioned that wall of patents. You can, in fact, see that behind the Singapore headquarters door. Also, a regional office in Malaysia, in Thailand, in Indonesia, and in mainland China, with the rest of Asia being rounded out right now: Hong Kong, Taiwan, Japan, and Korea. And then take a look at those two flags in the middle, the United States and Canada. This is Olylife's gateway to the rest of the world. So we're honored. Both our American and Canadian members, I'm sure, are thrilled that we are going to be the source of Olylife products really to the rest of the world by focusing on the United States and Canada first. And there's going to be, I think, a lot of benefits that come with that.